Hello, welcome back to the Off-Grid family. Today I'm making a dust extraction unit. Basically, when I got a project going, I'm very reliant on the weather because of too much dust, and you know, we've got very little airflow here, so even if I have all the windows open, it creates more and more and more dust. So with a dust extraction unit thing, you know, basically a vacuum cleaner and a Cyclone, we should be able to cut down on the amount of dust, which means increase the amount of projects I can do, whether the weather's rubbish or not. And where I live, it's rubbish. So yeah, this is what I'm going to do. I'll first out show you what parts I've got and what I'm using and so on. There will be changes as it goes through, I'm sure. As you know, this is one of those projects I've thought about, but it might evolve as I go through it. So yeah, let's get on. Okay, so this is what I've got together so far for this project. We have a bucket with a lid, but we don't need the lid. Just anything to actually collect the dust. I've got a dust cyclone attachment-y bit. Now, I bought this before I bought my 3D printer, otherwise I would have 3D printed one. But like I always say, I don't have a lot of money, so I have to buy things when I can for projects that may be quite some time in the future. So I bought this about 4 months ago because it was on special offer, and then I got the 3D printer. We got brackets and screws, and then we got this thing. Let me show you in a sec. This is a board with some wheels on it, and it's for transporting heavy boxes, apparently, from Wilkinson's. And I went into Wilkinson's, I was looking for some wheels, and their wheels, which were substantially smaller than this, like 1/3 the size of these, 1/3 the weight bearing of these, were £5 each. So it would have cost £20 just for the wheels, and they weren't as good as these wheels. And this whole thing cost £18, so it worked out cheaper, and it had a heavier duty wheels, and it had a board with it. Normally, obviously, I'd have made it all myself, but I thought for that price, you know, and it's saying it can hold up to 270 kilograms, so I might just be able to sit on that without breaking it. Yay! Okay, what the plan is, let me show you. We place the bucket and attach it to the wheel base, and then we do this. We then connect the Cyclone part to I'm going to make a wooden lid, which is securely attached so that no air can escape. And this will be connected to the wood with a hole in it. And then on the side of this barrel, connected to the base, the wheels as well, there will be a vacuum cleaner. I've got an old one that works relatively well, but it was taken apart years ago, so it's basically bare bones. It still works, but there was parts of it that didn't, so I got the bits that do work fixed for this project. So that'll be contained here, and basically the whole Cyclonic thing will be done. And it means that then we've got a way of extracting the dust, and so this room doesn't get absolutely completely caked in dust when we're doing sawing and stuff. Okay, now I've got to drill through the centre of both of these with this drill bit. It's still not quite big enough, and I'm a bit concerned. If I don't make it the exact size, we're going to get a bit of clogging up. I'm not sure, but I'm not sure what to do, whether to use the router to finish it off. We'll see how necessary it is. Right, after looking down there, it is not a very big difference between the size of the hole and so on, so I'm just going to leave it. There will be dust that connects up on the side, and it will cause a little bit of issue with the cyclonic action, possibly, but if it does, then what I'll do is I will just take it apart, and I will just take it out. It's easy enough to do, but it would just be time consuming, so if I do it now, it's just a pain. If I have to do it later, it's still a pain, but I'll have moved on. Right, so this is the 2 discs cut out. This was originally my first ever thing I was laser cutting into, and hang on, let's get that on the right way. Does anyone recognise that? It's a bit hard to recognise. Yes, but anyway, right, what we need to do is connect them both together. I'm going to shove a couple of screws in, probably 4. Then I'm going to paint the whole thing, both sides and underneath, etc. And then we can connect the actual Cyclone bit to it, and we can start testing different bits and bobs. Screws, where'd I put them? And I believe these should just about go through. We might have to end up filing down the edges just to make sure they don't go too far through. And just to test it, it nearly tight enough to hold itself on there. Just doesn't. Yeah, these are spiking through just slightly, and I'll cut them off with the grinder later. I can't be bothered just yet. Let's get painting this on both sides. The most important side is this side, but I would like to paint the underside if possible. I'm not sure how it will go on because I can't be bothered to sand down underneath, but you know. Right, you get a prize for guessing what colour I'm going to paint this. If you guessed black, then you win the chance to subscribe to this channel. I know, you can thank me later. Right, let me paint it and I'll be back. Right, I am going to now do this, paint this as well. I thought, what the hell? Again, painting in black. It keeps going in and out of focus, so if the focus is too bad, I'll just get rid of it. But not the camera, but the footage. But yeah, I'm just going to paint it, get it all looking nice-ish. Yeah. Thought just try and stay a bit consistent. I'll keep the actual container white and the container white and the Cyclone thing white, and then it should just be, you know, nice black and white kind of effect. It will either work or it won't, you know, I'm not too bothered. These are all the parts that I've made to actually connect all the bits to the board. So I've got bits that hold the barrel in place and bits that hold the vacuum cleaner, just, you know, to make it all cohesive and hopefully very sturdy. But, you know, I've dry fitted all of this, but I haven't actually tested any of it properly yet. Where have they gone? They were here a minute ago. God damn it. I'll have to paint some more. Now I've lost the wheels. Where have they gone? Okay, that is all the pieces we've got to sort of connect all of these bits together. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the container, put it here, and I'm going to start off by connecting these bits to hold it in place. From there we can then move across this to connect all the other things, but like the container is the founding father, the thing that, you know, everything is connected to in some way or another. So I'm going to do that. I might do that off screen just because it's quite high up and downwards you wouldn't be able to see anything, and from the side I'll constantly get in the way, you won't be able to see. So it's like quite a hard recording angle, but if I can figure out an angle I'll do it. But yeah, that's the first thing I'm going to do, so I'll get on with that now. Okay, so we've got this bit done. I obviously, I had to take off the other bits, the other half of the sort of cushiony bits like this. So I'm going to have to repaint over this, and I'm going to have to repaint where I've done the nails anyway. I just used the nail gun very quickly to hold these in. There's no need not to. Now I'm going to get onto the next bit, and I'm going to show you how I'm connecting everything else up. So that's the next plan. Okay, so this is the next section. This here is where the vacuum cleaner will sit, and I'll show you that in a second. There is an L bracket here, which will hold this piece of metal. I am apologetic that I did everything in black before showing you properly. Very hard to show. But then we've got this, which will sit here, hang on, like this, to hold, oh you can't see that, hang on, that like that, so it will hold the container in place. Basically this whole thing is going to hold itself together by each of its bits, kind of thing. So we're going to have the vacuum cleaner, let me show you. The vacuum cleaner is going to sit on here like so. The fact that it just sits there is quite handy. Isn't that funny that I'm literally not holding it? That's how it's decided to sit. That's how well it's worked. And basically these will be, the vacuum cleaner will be connected to the central post, and the central post will be connected to the thing. So that the whole thing will be holding itself up. It'll have 3 different places of security basically. But I'm going to screw all that together now, and then I will show you what that looks like. Okay, we're at this point where we've got all of the bits that actually hold the container in place. Next thing I'm going to do is put our little central support, which will also hold the container, but then this will also hold the vacuum cleaner and everything. It makes it all cohesive almost. Right, that is our little post in, and we drop in all the screws everywhere. Next bit then we need to put on is the bit that just fell off. This, which then also holds the actual container up here. It doesn't really hold it, it's just another bit of support. Right, that is the basic construction of this whole thing now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the container here, get the vacuum cleaner here, and then I'm going to start strapping them in. Now, I'm going to use zip ties now because I haven't got the straps I need. They are in the shed somewhere, I just can't get to them. But I was just going to use ratchet straps to hold it all together, but I'll just use zip ties, as I say. And I'll get this to the point where this part's done. Then we'll look into the siphon and get that bit, the Cyclone, sorry, that bit sorted out. And then we're pretty much there. There's a bit of 3D printing I need to do, but that's, you know, we're getting to the end of this project, thankfully. Right, there we go. That's the temporary setup, and it's secure enough. It's not, you know, that's actually the wheels wobbling, not the actual stuff on it. When I get the ratchet straps set up, it will be a lot more secure there. But this works for now. This is fine for me for now. Right, the next bit then I'm going to work on it is the lid, and I'm going to be putting the Cyclonic bit on it. So yeah, that's what we're doing next. Okay. That's that on, so let's go and construct the whole thing, put it all together, and then we'll talk about the attachments. Right, this is where we're now. We've got the top bit on and it's all connected up. Now we need the pipes and the tubing, and let me show you something. Standard hose for a normal vacuum cleaner is way too small for any of these Cyclonic things. So I've 3D printed a attachment, like an adapter, so I'll show you that, and I'll probably put a copy of that on my Patreon if I remember. And that's for free. Everything on my Patreon is for free. Okay, these are the things I've 3D printed, and basically they're just a little adapter that will plonk in here, and in here. Let's take that one out actually. And I made it so the tolerances are pretty tight, but as you'll see that it clips in, and then it's in there pretty damn tight. So you have to give it quite a pull to get it off. I can screw into it. I made it quite thick, so I could screw into it if I want. But that there just allows us to now have, I could nearly pick it up. That's how tight it is in there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to set the whole thing up, and let's give it a go. Let's see if it works. As I said, the files for these will be on my Patreon if I remember. If I don't, just give me a shout and I'll put them up. They're always free. As you may have noticed during the building of this, my desk got more and more messy. Normally I clear it up at each stage, but I wanted to test this out, so this is our first test. All of the dust went into this. So this was working, which is awesome. Okay, this is quite difficult to get all in frame, but there it is. That is it, done. It is finished, it is working, it is amazing. It just means now I can do more projects when it's pouring with rain, so every day. As long as my paint's okay, I can work on it, you know, I can work on different projects. So yeah, this should hopefully help us in the future so we can get more projects out. If there is any particular projects you want, you know, leave a comment and see what I can do. Okay, there you go. It's actually working, which is a really nice sign. Sometimes my projects get to this point and they're a little bit dodgy, but it seems to be working really, really well. I may end up having to change the container due to the fact the sides crumple in so quickly if, you know, something gets caught or whatever. That said, nothing should get caught, but after doing many different tests and so on, I've noticed that there's virtually nothing going into the Hoover at all, the vacuum cleaner. So it just means that I won't have to change the bag basically at all. I can imagine it's over a year before I need to change it, as long as it continues as it is. But yeah, I'm really happy with the style of it. As I said during, if any of you want to download the files for the 3D printed parts that I used, that's absolutely fine. And also I've got a video reviewing the plunge router that I used in it. If that's something you'd like to watch, I've put it somewhere. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again next week. Bye for now.